Introduction. The battles of Saratoga in 1777 were the turning point of the American Revolutionary War. British General John Burgoyne led an invasion army southward from Canada, aiming to take Albany, but was surrounded by American forces in upstate New York. After fighting 2 battles, Burgoyne retreated to Saratoga and surrendered his entire army on October 17. This victory won for Americans the foreign assistance needed for victory, and news of Burgoyne's surrender was instrumental in bringing France into the war as an American ally. The first battle on September 19 was won by Burgoyne, but he suffered significant casualties. The second battle on October 7 was lost, forcing him to retreat and surrender. Skirmishing continued in the days following the battle, and disputes within the American camp led to Benedict Arnold being stripped of his command. British General Sir Henry Clinton's attempts to help Burgoyne were too late, and the American troops were rallied by Arnold's spirited efforts in heavy fighting. How it ended. In the American Revolutionary War, there was a battle that sealed America's fate and shook the British Empire to its core. It was the battles of Saratoga, where the Americans faced off against British General John Burgoyne in a fight for control over the Hudson River Valley. It was a battle of epic proportions, with thousands of soldiers clashing on the battlefield. But in the end, the Americans emerged victorious, thanks in part to the heroic efforts of General Benedict Arnold. His bravery on the battlefield earned him the respect and admiration of his fellow soldiers, but unfortunately, he later betrayed the American cause and defected to the Royalists. Despite Arnold's fall from grace, the Battle of Saratoga marked a turning point in the Revolutionary War and convinced the French to ally with the Americans in their fight for independence. It was a victory that changed the course of history and proved that the Americans were a force to be reckoned with. Important facts. In 1777, the British had a 3-pronged attack strategy on New York, and General John Burgoyne led an invasion army from Canada with a goal to control the Hudson River Valley. After a series of wins, Burgoyne's forces reduced and moved south toward Saratoga. However, American General Horatio Gates and his troops had already built strong defenses on Bemis Heights overlooking the Hudson. On September 19, the 2 armies fought at Freeman's Farm, and though the British held their ground, they suffered heavy losses. Burgoyne's army waited for reinforcements that never came, and on October 7, they attacked the Americans again but failed. With no means of escape, Burgoyne surrendered to Gates on October 17. The victory was significant as it convinced France to sign a treaty with the United States against Britain, providing the financial and military support that helped win the war for independence. Background. As Burgoyne's army approached Saratoga in mid-September, they encountered a formidable obstacle. General Horatio Gates and his 8,500-strong Continental Army, which included the skilled leadership of Benedict Arnold and the sharpshooting prowess of Colonel Daniel Morgan's 500 Virginia riflemen. To halt the British advance, Gates ordered his troops to build defenses on the commanding Bemis Heights bluffs, from where they could surveil the Hudson River and road below. American artillery could easily strike either target from this strategic vantage point. The Americans also constructed a well-fortified wall, stretching nearly a mile and shaped like a large L, about a mile from the heights. 22 cannons were carefully placed behind this formidable barrier, offering ample artillery cover for the Patriots. The British would have to rely on the road, as the surrounding forest and dense vegetation made troop movement impossible. The stage was set for a crucial and decisive battle in the Revolutionary War. Battle. It's September 19, and General John Burgoyne is trying to find a way to break through American defenses with his army of about 7,500 men. To achieve this, he divides his army into 3 columns. The center column is met with a fierce fight by Colonel Daniel Morgan's light infantry near Freeman's Farm. When night falls, the British, reinforced by 500 German Hessians, hold the field. But the fighting has taken a toll, and Burgoyne decides to halt his advance and dig in. Meanwhile, the Americans are getting stronger. With more troops arriving, their army grows to 13,000 strong while the British remain stuck in the New York wilderness with limited supplies. Food is running low, and the troops are down to half rations. Fast forward to October 7, and the British are still looking for a way out of their situation. Burgoyne sends a reconnaissance force to attack the Americans at Bemis Heights, but the Patriots are one step ahead and force the British to retreat to their well-defended Balcarres Redoubt. A few hundred yards north is the Bremen Redoubt, guarded by only 200 German soldiers and officers. The Americans take advantage of the situation and capture the redoubt, with General Benedict Arnold riding out in front to rally the troops. However, the heroics come at a cost as Arnold is seriously wounded in the left leg. The events of these battles show that the war for independence was not an easy one, with both sides enduring tough times. However, it also shows the resilience and determination of the American army, who managed to overcome the odds and emerge victorious. Aftermath. In October 1777, after being trapped and unable to escape, the British army under Burgoyne surrendered to the Americans at Saratoga. This victory boosted American morale and led to France signing a treaty of alliance with the Americans, providing financial and military support. The British army became prisoners of war, and Burgoyne returned to England, where he was severely criticized and received no future commands in the British army. The defeat at Saratoga also led to a brief plot to replace George Washington as commander-in-chief of the Continental Army, which failed. The Treaty of Alliance with France helped tip the balance of the war in favor of the Americans, with later support from the Spanish and Dutch as well.